We all know the type. You see this guy that's never ridden a motorcycle in his life, and he goes into the Harley store, and he buys a $20-some thousand motorcycle. He buys a new leather jacket. He buys some chaps, some boots. He gets a nice fancy helmet. Buys some rings and stuff to put on his fingers. Even gets some Harley Davidson sunglasses. And then he goes out the door. He gets on his bike. And this guy is automatically transformed from just this regular guy on the street to the baddest dude who has ever walked the streets. I mean, the transformation's incredible. All of a sudden we have nice, normal guy, and then he's the baddest biker dude that has ever lived just by putting the right amount of money down on the counter. We all laugh at guys like that. We call them fakes, wannabes, posers. They might only ride, once or twice a year, if that, but most likely they just have guys come over and show them their motorcycle and make sure and keep it clean all the time. They never want to take it out of the garage. They just want to pretend like they're a biker, but they're really not. In the Christian world, we get something similar to that. Sometimes we find people who want to give off the impression to other people that they're strong Christians. And so they'll get themselves a big, thick King James Version study Bible, and they'll try to quote Scripture a lot when they're talking to people and give other people instructions on how they ought to live their lives. But the truth of the matter is that deep down, they're not really following Christ themselves. Jesus gave us this passage of Scripture that's a really difficult one. It's in Luke 14:27. And Jesus said, "Whoever does not carry his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple." Man, that's a tough passage of Scripture. Jesus is saying, no posers, no wannabes, no halfway disciples. You're either in this thing or you're out. It's one or the other. He's saying, if you are going to follow me, then you've got to be willing to follow me to the death, if that's what it takes. I don't think he's telling us all to go out and get martyred for his sake. But he's saying, if that's what it takes, that's a level of commitment that I expect from you. We all know that we're not perfect. We all know that sometimes we slip up, that sometimes we sin, sometimes we make mistakes. And we know that God's grace is there to lift us back up, to forgive us, to set us on our feet, to empower us for another day. But the principle is this, that every day, that every hour, as a true disciple of Jesus Christ, I want to live my life, and with His help will live my life, as a man or as a woman who is willing to pick up that cross and follow Him wherever He leads me. No posers allowed.